Sweden is undergoing a profound transformation in its defense policy, a shift accelerated by the country's accession to NATO in 2024. This strategic evolution is reflected in a series of decisive moves that have attracted international attention. Recently, Stockholm announced two major steps: the delivery of 18 advanced Archer self-propelled artillery systems to Ukraine and the purchase of Poland-produced Piorun air defense systems for its own armed forces. On the surface, these decisions may seem disparate, one involving long-range artillery and the other portable anti-aircraft missiles, but in reality, they represent a coherent approach to constructing a multi-layered defensive shield capable of addressing modern military threats on multiple fronts. This strategy is designed to protect Swedish territory across a full spectrum of potential attacks, from high-altitude missile threats to low-flying drones, while simultaneously enhancing the country's contributions to NATO operations and signaling a commitment to collective European security. The Archer system, developed by BAE Systems Bofors, has quickly become one of the most recognizable products of the Swedish defense industry. This 155mm wheeled howitzer is known for its mobility, precision, and survivability. It can fire 20 rounds in under 3 minutes, and with the use of precision-guided munitions such as the Excalibur round, it is capable of striking targets at ranges exceeding 50 kilometers. In the context of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, where Russian artillery and drone operations continue to pose significant challenges, the combination of mobility and accuracy provided by the Archer system is especially valuable. Each additional system deployed in Ukraine not only strengthens Ukrainian firepower but also demonstrates Sweden's willingness to commit substantive resources beyond symbolic support. The country's provision of Archer systems reinforces both solidarity with Ukraine and confidence in its own domestic defense industry, highlighting the dual role of Swedish defense procurement as both a strategic and diplomatic tool. The Piorun system represents a complementary layer of defense focused on low-altitude threats. Designed primarily to counter helicopters, low-flying aircraft, and increasingly unmanned aerial systems, the Piorun boasts an effective range of approximately 6.5 kilometers and an operational ceiling of around 4 kilometers. Lessons learned from Ukraine have underscored the effectiveness of small, mobile teams equipped with systems like Piorun, particularly against drone swarms or helicopter operations near the front lines. For Sweden, acquiring Piorun units addresses a recognized gap in low-altitude defense, which high-end systems such as Patriot or Iris TSLM cannot fully cover due to cost and deployment limitations. The ability to widely distribute these portable units ensures a final line of defense for key bases, logistical hubs, and frontline formations, enhancing resilience against diverse aerial threats. Moreover, procuring these systems from Poland strengthens bilateral defense ties with a neighboring country that shares Sweden's concerns about Russian aggression and has rapidly developed its own military capabilities. In this sense, the acquisition of Piorun is as much a signal of alliance building and strategic cooperation as it is a technical enhancement of Sweden's air defense capabilities. Taken together, the Archer and Piorun systems form the backbone of a carefully designed, multi-layered defense network. At the upper level, high-end radars such as the recently acquired Thales GM200 MMC provide early detection and tracking of threats, ensuring that long-range systems can respond effectively. Mid-range solutions like NASAMS or the upcoming mobile short-range air defense systems fill the intermediate space, while Piorun units cover low-altitude vulnerabilities. Simultaneously, Archer artillery provides precise fire support capable of suppressing enemy artillery, missile batteries, and concentrated forces before they can pose a significant threat to Swedish or Allied positions. This integration across multiple layers reflects the reality of modern warfare, in which no single system is sufficient to counter the range of challenges posed by drones, cruise missiles, artillery barrages, and electronic warfare. Swedish defense planners have explicitly aligned acquisitions with this philosophy of depth and redundancy, acknowledging that resilience in modern conflict depends on multiple, overlapping systems capable of compensating for each other's limitations. Sweden's strategic decisions also reflect a broader shift in its posture toward NATO integration. Historically, the country maintained a policy of armed neutrality, emphasizing territorial defense over expeditionary capabilities or collective action. Joining NATO altered this perspective, necessitating preparation not only to defend national territory but also to contribute meaningfully to alliance operations in the Baltic region and beyond. The decision to supply Archer systems to Ukraine exemplifies this shift, signaling a willingness to deploy national assets in support of wider strategic goals. It demonstrates Sweden's understanding that meaningful participation in collective security arrangements requires tangible contributions, not merely symbolic alignment. Similarly, procuring Piorun systems from Poland illustrates an openness to European cooperation in defense, complementing domestic procurement and signaling a commitment to shared security responsibilities. These moves reflect a calculated effort to balance national defense priorities with alliance obligations, demonstrating that Sweden is positioning itself as a capable, reliable NATO partner capable of operating both independently and collaboratively. The Baltic security environment, in particular, underscores the importance of Sweden's strategic calculations. The region faces potential threats from Russian missile forces, air power, and naval assets, with Belarus serving as a staging ground for Russian exercises such as the Zapad drills. Small Baltic states, including Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, are especially vulnerable due to limited resources, making layered defense systems critical. By contributing capabilities such as Archer artillery and low-altitude air defenses, Sweden and Finland enhance NATO's depth and scalability in the region. These contributions allow Allied assets to be deployed more flexibly, freeing higher-end systems for broader operational coverage while ensuring that Swedish and Finnish forces maintain robust defensive postures at home. In essence, Sweden's investments in multi-layer defense extend beyond national security, serving a collective role that strengthens NATO's deterrence and operational readiness across the Baltic theater. Despite the strategic logic, Sweden faces practical challenges in sustaining this transformation. Financially, the country is committing roughly 90 billion kronor in aid to Ukraine while planning to raise defense spending to 3.5% of GDP by 2030, a significant increase for a nation of 10 million people. Maintaining production lines for Archer units to meet both domestic and export demands places substantial pressure on the defense industry, particularly if delivery timelines are disrupted. While the purchase of Piorun systems represents a smaller-scale investment, scaling up to the thousands of launchers potentially required for comprehensive coverage of critical infrastructure could substantially increase costs. Furthermore, training and doctrine development remain vital considerations. Artillery brigades must be proficient in rapid-fire tactics, while manpads operators require continuous practice to remain effective against agile and evasive targets. Without adequate personnel, logistical support, and operational integration, even highly advanced systems risk underperformance or symbolic status rather than delivering tangible battlefield advantages. Adaptability is another central concern. Modern conflict evolves quickly, and today's systems may be challenged by tomorrow's technologies. Archer excels in counter-battery fire but may be vulnerable to saturation attacks involving cheap, mass-produced drones. Piorun is effective against individual helicopters and drones, yet future autonomous systems and low-observable cruise missiles could stress the system's capabilities. Recognizing this, Sweden is investing in flexible platforms and robust research and development pipelines to ensure that its defense posture can adapt to emerging threats. Such forward-looking investment is as critical as initial acquisitions, ensuring that Sweden's multi-layer defense remains credible over the coming decade rather than becoming obsolete due to technological advances or tactical innovation. Politically, Sweden's defense decisions reflect a careful balance between national interests and alliance responsibilities. Supplying heavy artillery to Ukraine carries inherent risks, potentially provoking Russian countermeasures, but withholding such support could undermine credibility within NATO. Similarly, acquiring Polish systems strengthens European defense collaboration but raises questions about the future role of Sweden's domestic defense industry. These tensions are not contradictions but rather the realities of alliance politics, where complete self-sufficiency is unrealistic and visible contributions are necessary to build and maintain trust. Sweden's dual approach, exporting Archer units to Ukraine while deploying Piorun for domestic protection, signals strategic maturity, integrating national defense needs with broader collective security commitments. The combined effect of Archer and Piorun extends beyond immediate tactical utility. By weaving long-range firepower with layered air defense, Sweden is creating a resilient, adaptable shield capable of countering threats across multiple altitudes and ranges. This multi-layered architecture is designed not only to protect Swedish territory but also to ensure that NATO forces can operate with confidence, knowing that vulnerabilities are addressed through overlapping systems. Archer and Piorun symbolize Sweden's transition from neutrality to active defense, from isolated planning to integrated cooperation, and from a peripheral participant to a frontline contributor within NATO's European security framework. This transformation reflects a deliberate choice to shoulder responsibility for collective defense, demonstrating to allies that Sweden is ready to meet operational demands and signaling to potential adversaries that Swedish defenses will be difficult to penetrate. Looking ahead, the sustainability of this approach will depend on Sweden's ability to maintain production, training, and operational flexibility. The practical challenges of balancing industrial capacity, personnel readiness, and evolving threat environments will test the resilience of the multi-layered defense model. However, the strategic direction is clear: Sweden is embracing a proactive, integrated approach to defense, leveraging technological sophistication, international cooperation, and tactical adaptability to secure its national interests and contribute meaningfully to regional stability. In doing so, it is redefining its role within the Baltic and European security architecture, moving from a historically neutral actor to a central, reliable participant in collective defense operations. By prioritizing both high-end artillery support and low-altitude missile coverage, Sweden is building a system that anticipates the complexity of modern warfare, where threats range from sophisticated long-range strike systems to agile unmanned platforms. The Archer and Piorun programs reflect an understanding that resilience in contemporary conflict is not achieved through singular capabilities but through redundancy, depth, and adaptability. Every component of this layered defense, from radar networks and mid-range systems to portable missile units and rapid-fire artillery, is designed to complement the others, creating a cohesive and mutually reinforcing structure capable of responding dynamically to a wide array of scenarios. Ultimately, Sweden's approach represents a strategic vision that integrates military effectiveness with diplomatic signaling. By equipping Ukraine, investing in domestic defense, and collaborating with European partners, the country communicates its seriousness to allies and adversaries alike. Archer and Piorun are more than weapons systems; they are tangible representations of Sweden's evolving defense identity, one that balances national sovereignty, alliance commitments, and technological innovation. As the regional security landscape continues to evolve, Sweden's layered defense strategy will serve as both a practical shield and a strategic message, indicating that the country is prepared to defend itself while actively contributing to the collective security framework of NATO and the broader European context. In conclusion, Sweden is redefining its military posture in a way that transcends traditional defensive thinking. By integrating long-range precision artillery with flexible, low-altitude air defense, the country is constructing a multi-tiered protective network capable of meeting the demands of contemporary warfare. These measures highlight a commitment not only to national security but also to alliance obligations, demonstrating Sweden's readiness to play a meaningful role in collective defense. Archer and Piorun embody this transformation, symbolizing a shift from neutrality to active engagement, from isolated planning to integrated defense, and from a peripheral presence to a frontline actor in the European security landscape. As Sweden continues to invest in personnel, production, and research, the multi-layered defense architecture is positioned to remain adaptive, resilient, and credible, ensuring that the country is prepared to meet both current and emerging threats while reinforcing its stature as a reliable NATO partner and a capable guardian of regional stability.